Today, I'm going to finally answer the number one question I always get. Of course, that question is, Sam, what do we do about this current transit or whatever it is? What remedies should we do? What mantras should we say? You've probably seen me ask these questions all the time on my videos. That's exactly why I decided to teach the upcoming course on Vedic astrology and spiritual practices, the 80-20 of figuring this out, which means the 20% of the most powerful structures that give you 80% of the results when you're trying to know which spiritual practices will benefit you the most and how to change and adjust them throughout your life based on different dashas and whatnot. As you see, that class is happening June 11th and 12th, 2022. But if you can't attend in real time, you can always watch the recordings. But today I'm going to take that 80-20 focus and I'm going to concentrate it like a laser on the 12 zodiac signs. Practices and remedies based on the rulers, gunas, elements, and modality of the zodiac signs. These four things get you about 80% of the way there. Of course, there are other attributes of the zodiac signs. They also refer to a caste, they have a size, they have feet, they have all kinds of things. But understanding the ruler, the guna, the element, and the modality gets you pretty much all the way there. But as you're watching this video, you can really understand that it's going to refer to the qualities of your ascendant, your rising sign, and also your moon sign, which will show your psychological makeup and environment. So, of course, each one of the signs are ruled by a planet. Aries is ruled by Mars, Taurus is ruled by Venus, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, Cancer is ruled by the moon, Leo is ruled by the sun, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, Libra is ruled by Venus, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces. So every zodiac sign is in fact meaningless without understanding its ruler. And you have to understand there's a masculine and feminine quality to these signs. For example, Mars expresses its feminine side through Scorpio and its masculine side through Aries. So both Scorpio and Aries have a Mars nature. In just a basic sense, both of those signs will have a Mars sort of quality. Both Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. So there will be a tendency towards Mercury energy with both of those signs. But through Gemini, it's airy, and through Virgo, it's earthy. So what does this mean? Well, those rulers infuse the sign with an innate nature, but then that innate nature is expressed externally or internally based on the element. For example, with Scorpio, it's that watery nature of Mars. Water is related to feeling, and Mars is related to competition and battle. Gemini is airy, which has to do with thoughts, ideas, but also breath. So you can see right away there's an innate tendency for each of the signs to have a quality that would align with a certain type of action. But of course, that's just on the surface. So for example, you would have the gunas of the signs as well. Let's take Saturn's signs. They are both what are called tamasic, because the nature of Saturn is tamasic, which is to protect ourselves and make sure that we're safe. But Mars is also tamasic, but it's a different type of tamasic. It's to fight against those things that are making us weak. But we also have Rajasic energy, which mainly comes from the Rajasic planets. And Rajasic is motivated toward enjoyment, desire, fulfilling our passions. So Mercury and Venus are those Rajasic energies. Venus because we want to experience pleasure, and Mercury because we want to have fun. And those natures pretty much translate into the zodiac signs that they rule as well. But then there's also the Sattvic qualities, which are motivated to do things that are elevated and transcendent. And there are three different Sattvic planets. The Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are Sattvic. The Sun is Sattvic to share our light and protective quality. The Moon to feel love and peace. And Jupiter to be inspired and find meaning. But the signs also have a modality. Some signs are initiating, starting. Others are stable and concentrating and maybe even a little bit stuck. While others are dual and tend to do both. Sometimes they're initiating, other times they're holding on. So when we start to bring these things together in each of the zodiac signs, we see specific activities and remedies that bring great healing and allow us to elevate those innate tendencies rather than have them pulled down. In fact, there are even specific paths of yoga that align specifically with the 4 main elements. There are hardwired tendencies that also connect us with the true nature of that planet and that element. For example, all of the fire signs, which would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, will have this focus on action and forward momentum, which needs to be disciplined. All of the earth signs will have a tendency to want things to be practical and useful. That would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Useful, practical things where there's effort and there's determination and work towards a goal, especially when you can produce a result in a tangible form. The air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are very aligned with speech, but also breath, also mantra, and ways of elevating ideas into a holistic framework that includes things like singing or mantra, or even, as I say, breath. And then water signs are very connected to the heart and need to elevate the emotions beyond just feeling personal attachment to things. So that would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. A more devotional quality will need to emerge. But how do we do these things? And what about different planets in those signs? What about if you get the planet Jupiter, which is a sattvic planet, but let's say it goes into Libra, which is a rajasic sign, and it's ruled by Venus, so now there's a lot of desires. Which do you pay attention to, the planet or the sign? How do you bring those things together? Maybe Libra is ruled by Venus, which wants to enjoy ourself and wants to connect with other people, but Jupiter wants to transcend that. So how does that translate into a spiritual practice or something that can elevate both, not elevate one at the expense of the other? These are the types of questions that we'll be unpacking and answering on that weekend course. I'm putting together templates and checklists and worksheets that you are going to work through. This isn't just a lecture. It's going to be a workshop where you write down these things from your chart. You see exactly how these energies play out in an innate sense, and then how those innate tendencies get sort of sidetracked and confused by other influences, how to get back to those influences that are the strongest and how to elevate them, and how to live in accordance with that higher principle and higher purpose. And see, we have to have these things be in alignment with our nature. We can't cultivate them or force them, otherwise we won't do them. So there's all types of meditations that work for all types of people, and that's going to be a major focus as well. In addition, when you register for the course, you already get access to hours of bonus classes. One of those bonus classes is on the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which is the oldest meditation manual straight from the source text of India, that is like the origin of Shaivism, of Lord Shiva's meditation. I did a 3-hour workshop on that last year, where I actually share my meditation practice with you, and I describe how to do these meditations. There's also bonus classes on the sun and the moon, and also on the lunar nodes, ways to understand these hidden, confusing tendencies in our mind. In the class on Tantra, I talked about a lot of meditation exercises, things like walking meditations, feeling meditations, visualizations. Every kind of meditation known to man is covered in that Tantra exercise from thousands of years ago, the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. As I said, that's just a free bonus. You want to register for that. As I said, the weekend class itself is only $47. It's usually about $100, but I'm been discounting these courses now for a couple years. It's at that price now, but it will go up after the weekend course. In addition, I have a special bonus class after the 11th and 12th, where Mas Vidal, the founder of Dancing Shiva Ayurveda School, is going to also talk to us about remedies and special formulas that he's put together in his supplement company called More Life Market. I'm also going to be making a few more videos here explaining these frameworks so you can better understand the planets, the houses, the nakshatras, and the other parts of spiritual astrology and remedies.